So I got a cool little thing on the channel today, guys. This was my buddy Alex Beers' old car, and another friend of mine had bought it. So this, I think he owned it 14 years. So that's kind of just like my hatch. I've owned it since 2006, 2005. And this thing's come a long way, just as long as, same with this thing, has come a long way. So how many 90 Integras, DA Integras do you see that's this clean, eh? So I'm actually doing a clutch job on this thing. So I think he got it from Technotic. It's competition, I believe. Let's see what we got here, boys. So this thing's pretty clean. SI seats. Alex always took really good care of it. So let's pull this guy out here and see what we got. So this is B18B bottom end with a VTEC head. I think it's a GSR, I'm not positive, but let's see here. PR3. So yeah, we're going to do the clutch on this thing and just basically do the average, jack it up, pull the trans, pull the axles, and then see what this is. It's a 1500 NA clutch kit. So oh, nice. Yeah, come from Technotic, so shout out to Eric. Nice competition stickers. So ARP pressure plate bolts. 1.5 full face clutch. So I like the full face myself also instead of the sprung. So sprung is nice, right? But this is a full face, like, so you would basically, you would have pads. So if you had a 6-puck, it would be 6 pucks. So this full disc is actually, I think we've seen up to like 450 horse on the, like hold 450 horse on them. So that's a nice clutch disc. New throw out, Exetti, because Honda runs Exetti from factory. And yeah, look at that. This thing's gonna be a ripper, so I'm going to get this in. I was gonna start it and pull it in, but I actually got my grandfather to help me pull it in with my truck, so I just drug it in. He pushed it here up the road, so I didn't want to start it. I don't know why he didn't want to start it. It must have been making noises or something. But yeah, I'm gonna go through this thing and basically keep you guys posted. So really sick car. I'm happy to be working on it, and it's just cool to see that it showed up at my shop. So we'll have to check back in on that tomorrow, guys. Alright guys, so first thing I did, basically move some stuff out of the way, get the battery out of the way, the battery tray, I moved it. We got that front mount, so these DAs are actually pretty compact, so pull the starter out, make your room there. In the back on these, just like the old EFs, your speed sensor has those 2 lines that go to it, so make sure you pull them off. You guys can see right there. But yeah, basically besides that, pull the axles. You're going to have to take these 217s out also for this track arm, so you can get a by. So I basically just moved everything out of the way. Got the axle there. Come around here. I got the axle ready to be pulled. Just got to get that off in the half shaft and then loosen off the T-bracket. And I can drop this thing down a bit and pull the tranny out, guys. So just watching some PFI speed. Shout out to Brent. So always got him on the go here. But yeah, guys, we're going to get this tranny out and go from there. Alright guys, so we got the new clutch on, we got the new pilot bearing in, we got the new ARP hardware for the clutch. So this is stage 1.5, so it's supposed to be a nice pedal with a full disc. So you guys can see the ARP bolts. So yeah, this thing should be a ripper now. Set out the competition. And yeah, this is the old clutch. So it still had quite a bit of pad left, to tell you the truth. You can see a couple of heat marks there, but nothing too crazy. So maybe he just wanted to upgrade. And I checked the trans. I'm assuming Ben had built this before. It seems to be in great working order. So we're gonna get this thing back installed on here and get this guy back on the streets. Just so you guys know, change out the throwout bearing on this style, the older ones, kind of like the ZCs or the older Civics, the older DAs. It's got this. It doesn't have hydraulic. It's actually cable. So cable clutch. So you just loosen this 12, pull it out, and then you're gonna change this. So the spring has to go underneath this tab though. So make sure you do that right. Alright guys, so the camera died, but I got everything here. You guys can see the all-wheel drive H22 car on kill. Shout out to that racing channel. So soon this thing will be on kill. But before then, we're gonna get this thing back together. So all I have left to do, guys, is throw the axles in and the half shaft, and this thing's gonna be a ripper. So I got 2 liters of Honda manual trans fluid for it, so some fresh fluid, and yeah, we're basically going to get this half shaft in, this axle, and then torque everything down, and we'll be good. Alright guys, it's the next day. I'm just putting my 2 liters of Honda manual transmission fluid in, so that's what these trainees take. That's what I recommend. So I'll get you guys on a time lapse for that. The only reason why we're here now, it's the next day, is because I went to put the axle in last night, realized the trans was LSD, and then I went to put the axle in and this front cup is no good. So you guys can hear it. Right, I can turn it. It's just the rubber that's letting it do its thing there. So I told him I had a couple here, but I said, why not just go get a new one, and then you know it's good, right? So yeah, I think he should be here any minute basically with the axle, and then I'll get this installed and we'll get him going for a rip, boys. Alright guys, so to sum up my day, I just got this transmission pulled out again. For whatever reason, it was basically, when it was off, it would go in gear. As soon as you fire the car up, it wouldn't go in gear. So I basically knew it was nothing that I did, right? So I went to go pull it back apart. I dropped the linkage, checked everything there, the linkage seemed fine, hooked the linkage back up, tried to adjust my cable, basically over than what I would have normally liked to, and then it still didn't help me out. So I knew there was something else going on. So basically I was getting way too much movement before the cable would even start pushing against the pressure plate. So I started looking into it, and once I actually realized what was going on, I unhooked everything and I could still move it. It was like the pressure plate wasn't doing anything, the clutch wasn't doing anything. So here I am, I pulled it back out, and just so you guys know, this had come from Technotic. Nothing against them, but he should have known the difference between the B series cable clutches. So the pressure plates are identical. They're the same thing. They're the same thickness. They have the same ears on them. Everything is the same here. So this is a comp 1.5. It says it's from a 92. Well, it's that, but on the paper, I don't know if it's legit, but it says it's a B series 92-93 stage 1.5 full face clutch kit. Okay, so he got the extra bolts, whatnot. So when you take first glance at them, everything looks the same. The pads are the same. Basically everything looks the same until you realize that the new one is way bigger round compared to this one. So you guys can see my hand there and then my hand there. That's a big difference. So when it sits in there, it actually sits pretty snug. This one, once you set it in there, the pads fit about the same, but when you flip it over, you can see there's a big gap, right? So the only thing I can assume is when this bolted down, it literally pulled all these ears tight. So then my release bearing, which we got another one here, sits there. Basically, because they were all flat, they were all pulled in, my release bearing had this much play before it even got to push against the pressure plate, so to stop the clutch. So now I'm gonna put this clutch back in. So if you see here, there's nothing you can feel, and there's still plenty of life back on this clutch. So the job had come here. Buddy asked me, can you do a clutch job in my car? I said, yeah, certainly. And I went away and did a clutch job. So B series was B series. He said he ordered it for this year for the SIR trans, LSD trans, and Technotic had sent him that. So just goes to show you, you guys should look everything over. Even if you've done something 1,000 times, just go over it. I should have noticed that before I put it in, but to me the disc looked like the disc. I did it quick. It's my own fault, but now I got it back apart. The kid was just here, and we're gonna put the old one back in because it's still good and it worked before. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I literally have this thing stripped again here. I took it apart in about 22 minutes. So yeah. Alright guys, so after a day and a half of screwing around, pulling this tranny in and out, I put the stock one back in that he had, so it was another competition clutch. And like I said, this disc was bigger, so it was letting the car not actually engage. So I'm just letting this kind of charge up. The battery wasn't in the best shape, but seems to be going in gear. I'm gonna still adjust the clutch cable a little bit there for the pedal, but yeah, at least we got a ripper again. Put her in gear. Let this thing idle here for a quick minute. One done. See the grease burning off. Cable, you can see there. The adjuster. So we're gonna set the valves on this thing too. Probably next week or so, once he gets a couple more bucks.